So this is a magical coast dotted with caves, and I'm about to explore Pandora's Cave. Alfonso brought me to this spot because he used to kayak here when he was a kid, and this cave can only be reached by boats, and straight ahead there is a statue of the Virgin Mary. Pretty special spot. The dramatic Amalfi Coast stretches 41 miles from Naples all the way to Amalfi. This area was a former Greek settlement, and the Romans became obsessed with it. Today, travelers come here trying to soak up La Dolce Vita life. It's complicated because driving is very difficult, and you're probably wondering where to stay and what to see and do. I'm Angel Castellanos, the tour guide, and today I'm going to give you the formula of how to have an epic time right here on the Amalfi Coast. The Amalfi Coast is absolutely legendary. There's beautiful villages just hanging off of cliffs, and they have their own special brand of La Dolce Vita here. If you're visiting southern Italy, you really owe it to yourself to explore this beautiful coastline. But getting here is complicated, driving here is treacherous, it's expensive, and super crowded in the summertime. Today we're leveraging our years of experience in visiting the Amalfi Coast to help you maximize your vacation by planning better and smarter so you can have more fun and dive deeper into local culture. Before we get started, hook us up with a like and subscribe so we can keep bringing you great content. And don't forget to ring that bell so you can keep up with our latest episodes. The Amalfi Coast is the majestic area of Italy everyone dreams of visiting, and your invitation to do what Italians do best. Live the best life possible every day. And trust us, you want in. Naples is the traditional gateway to southern Italy and the Amalfi Coast. If you decide to skip Naples, Sorrento is located 31 miles or about an hour south of Naples and can be reached via public transportation, train, bus, or ferry, or even by car. If you're flying from the US East Coast, continental Europe, or the UK, you can fly directly into Naples International Airport to reach the Amalfi Coast. The airport is the hub for the region and just as well connected to Sorrento and the Amalfi Coast as it is to Naples. The Ferry bus service is the most convenient way to get from the Naples International Airport to Sorrento. The convenient bus stops in all the towns in the Sorrento Peninsula. Taxis and private cars are definitely available, but typically cost much more. If you're already in Italy, taking the train is an efficient option. Naples is on the main train line connecting to major cities like Rome and Florence. From Rome, Naples is an easy day trip since there are several high-speed connections per hour and taking just 1 hour and 10 minutes from Roma Termini to Napoli Centrale. To get to Sorrento via train, you definitely want to take the Circumvesuviana train that runs between Naples and Sorrento approximately every half hour, costing around €4. And this takes about an hour. The pro move is to take an express train that is air-conditioned and called the Campania Express and has fewer stops. The Port of Naples can be the jumping-off point to explore the incredible Amalfi Coast. High-speed ferries depart from Naples to Sorrento from the Molo Beverello Pier opposite the Castel Nuovo, only taking about 45 minutes to get to Sorrento. From the same pier, you can get to Capri in 50 minutes on the high-speed ferry or hydrofoil. Both slow and high-speed ferries to Positano and Amalfi also depart from Molo Beverello. Slower ferries to Capri take 1 hour and 25 minutes, setting sail from Calata Porta di Massa, located along Via Marina. The main transportation hubs for getting around the Amalfi Coast are Naples, Sorrento, Capri, Positano, Amalfi, and Salerno. Driving the coast can be exciting or give you anxiety. There are plenty of boats and buses and ferries to help you get around. The busy season with frequent boats and ferries is from April to October. Ferries fill up fast and will sell out during the busy season. Book tickets well in advance. If you don't feel like driving or taking a boat, there are public buses that run up and down the coast. SITA buses, S-I-T-A, from Sorrento to Amalfi are the most common and inexpensive. Since buses can be crowded and driving treacherous, taxis are available for hire, but are the most expensive and private option. You'll have to negotiate your price with the driver. If you want to take a small group or private boat tour of the iconic Amalfi Coast from Naples or Sorrento, don't worry, we got you. We have lots of options on our website. We're kicking off our day on the Amalfi Coast in the first big town of the area and an ideal home base, Sorrento. From there, we'll head to the opposite side of the coast to Amalfi, which is another great option to home base because of the beach, transportation, and accommodation options. On our best day, there'll be plenty of time on the water, relaxing, eating incredible food, and experiencing La Dolce Vita in real life. So if you're looking for a place to start planning, don't worry, we got you. I made it to Sorrento, and for a lot of people, this is the first taste of the Amalfi Coast. It's a great place to use as a base and to jump off and explore the rest of the region. You could take a train here directly from Naples, and from here you could take ferries to Ischia, to Capri, to Positano, and to Amalfi. This town is all about tourism, so don't feel like it's a tacky tourist town. This is just what they do here, so you might as well get your souvenirs and use it as a base to explore the rest of the area. I just drove in and I'm dying for a coffee, so there's no better place to have one than right here in central Sorrento. It is time to get my coffee on, and coffee culture is still alive and well here on the Amalfi Coast. I've decided to come to this particular historic cafe in Sorrento. I'm having my coffee al banco, which means at the counter. It's a cheaper price than sitting outside, because outside you're paying for a table and enjoying the views. I just need a quick one before I get my shopping on and buy some limoncello for my mom. Ooh, that's a nice one. Rocket fuel. Since Sorrento is a great home base for the Amalfi Coast, we have plenty of recommendations on our online guidebook on where to stay and where to eat. Check the link in the description for details. Sorrento is full of shops filled with sunshine in a bottle known as limoncello. It's the #1 souvenir my family wants me to bring back. So once you get into the inner workings of Sorrento, you're going to find small little narrow lanes that are just full of different shops, and the main sort of industry here is lemons, or anything with lemons on it, or the nativity scenes. I see some limoncello here. Perfect.
Factory is organic bio.
Imagine that. From his family factory, and this is a perfect gift for my mother. So, perfetto. Enrico, Angelo, piacere. Piacere. When it comes to limoncello, it's the de facto drink of the area and taken seriously by locals. Handmade from legendary Sorrento lemons, which are massive lemons on steroids and full of flavor. When you bring back a bottle home, you get to relive the memories and stories from your vacation. So this is my friend Enrico here. He owns this limoncello shop, and it's a locally made limoncello. He's the 3rd generation shop owner here. His family has owned it for 3 generations. So you got to hook him up with some limoncello purchases. Anything lemon in here. Yeah, even lemon cookies. I'm heading across the peninsula to the town of Amalfi for some lunch, a boat tour of the area, and ending my day with a visit to their legendary cathedral. It's about an hour-and-a-half drive from Sorrento and worth it, especially if you're staying in a quieter spot like Minori or Maiori. The drive is challenging but incredibly scenic, with stunning views of the Mediterranean and Amalfi Coast cliffs. The little town of Amalfi isn't as Instagram famous as Positano, but there's a whole reason why the whole coast is called the Amalfi Coast. This place is such a vibe and a good base to explore the rest of the region. Now, you can park here, but be sure to get here very, very early, because parking does fill up fast. If you're staying here, arrange parking with your hotel. Another option is to park up in Ravello, walk down, and take a taxi or bus back up. For a nice lunch or dinner option, I decided to go for a traditional family-owned restaurant here in Amalfi. It's just a few meters away from the main square. This place has been around since 1872. Of course, they specialize in seafood, and the service here is top-notch. Grazie. Having seafood, so I'm going with the white wine here. It's the Amalfi Coast, so you're gonna drink a lot of white wine while you're here. Seafood is the way to go here on the Amalfi Coast. So I decided to start with a tuna carpaccio and some shrimp crudo. Definitely beautifully presented, and I can't wait to start eating this. The tuna is also served with a beautiful fennel and orange salad. You know, it's gonna be warm here, so this is kind of the way they eat here. Fresh, seasonal, tons of seafood. So thinly sliced. You get that fresh tuna flavor, whisper of the ocean. Now for the shrimp crudo there. Look at the beautiful pink color. So nice. In the United States, I never have a shrimp crudo or raw shrimp like this. Here in Italy, it's something that you do when you're at the seaside, and you just taste the sweetness of the shrimp so much more than when it's cooked. You're gonna have a lot of seafood and pasta here on the Amalfi Coast, linguine and clams, or spaghetti and seafood. I decided to go with the special of the house for the pasta dish. This is a Genovese pasta, and this is Da Gemma's specialty. It's an onion sauce with beef, really thick noodles. And my waiter recommended this, and I do not regret this one bit because it smells fantastic. You can't smell it there, but trust me, the smell-o-vision is insane. All right, I'm gonna go in for Mama Gemma's da Genovese. The sweetness of the onion in combination with the beef and this al dente pasta is just amazing. If you don't like seafood, this is the dish to order for sure. So now we're getting to the nitty-gritty. I went back to seafood. We're in Amalfi, of course, and I ordered the fish of the day. Typically, fish here is sold by the gram, so just double check with your waiter. And it's beautifully presented, served with a lemon and caper sauce, very traditional, with potatoes. Let's get to it. There you go. Nothing like having fresh seafood right on the Amalfi Coast. They make everything in-house here, including all the breads and pastries, and these little after-dinner treats that the waiter brought over. This one here is like a coconut little biscuit. It is delicious, trust me. If you're using ferries to get around the Amalfi Coast, you should know that the ticket office is usually at the top of the pier, and you usually queue up along the pier here, and the ferries take off in different directions, so you have to pay attention to the ticket and where you're queuing up. I'm on a tour, so my boat is waiting on the older pier, which is right over there.
How are you?
Good. Now we're cooking with gas. Travel is all about perspective, so what I've decided to do is get a different perspective of the Amalfi Coast. I've left the car and now I'm on a boat tour going to the southern part of the Amalfi Coast and then heading up to Positano.
My guide Alfonso is not only an experienced captain, but he's also a local who grew up here and still lives in the area.
So south of Amalfi is Marmorata. It's an area that's not very well known, but Alfonso's decided to show this to me because it's epically beautiful and you can't necessarily drive here. You can only really explore this area by a boat like this, or if you rent a kayak, you can kayak in. Alfonso brought me to this spot because he used to kayak here when he was a kid, and this cave can only be reached by boats, and straight ahead there is a statue of the Virgin Mary. Pretty special spot.
Alfonso pointed out smaller underrated towns like Minori and Maori that are worth checking out and not on the foreign tourist radar.
Positano is without a doubt the most famous town on the Amalfi Coast. It's the playground of the rich and the famous, and for those who want to see and be seen. It attracts thousands of tourists each year during the summer. And its beautiful architecture and colorful buildings are just so charming, everyone wants to see the same thing. But it's complicated to get here, it's complicated to park, so my suggestion is that you actually stay in Positano, because once the day trippers leave, it becomes a whole different experience.
For centuries, Positano has attracted poets and writers, but today it's consumed by droves of tourists. The focal point of the town is the Marina Grande, which was once a bustling harbor for ancient traders, is now the place where modern wanderers drop anchor and relax on the pebbly beach. Walking down or climbing the endless stairs or narrow streets can be challenging during the peak summer season. Our secret is to arrive in Positano by sea and enjoy the views from the water as much as you can.
Positano is the most famous town on the Amalfi Coast and something that you should definitely see when you're in southern Italy. But getting here is a little bit tough, so if you want to make things easy for yourself, jump on one of our tours because we got you. Our experienced guides will take you to Positano and you can enjoy your time without the stress. Well, that's it for our time with Alfonso, my main man. Grazie.
You're welcome, sir. It was a real pleasure. Piacere.
This is a tour guide from life, man. That's what I'm talking about. I'm so relaxed right now. After a day on the water with Alfonso touring around Amalfi and the coast, this is what it's about. One of the top things that you have to check out when you're on the Amalfi Coast is the Amalfi Cathedral. It was founded in the 9th century, and its mixture of Eastern and Western architecture makes it an absolute stunner. In 1208, the relics of St. Andrew were brought right here from Constantinople, making it a tourist destination ever since.
The cathedral just dominates the main square of Amalfi. Climbing its steps is a workout and a walk into history. The restored interior is a mix of Arab and Romanesque architecture. Down below in the crypt, you'll find the remains of St. Andrew, the first disciple of Jesus and the patron saint of Amalfi. If you visit during the summer, the pro move is to find the courtyard.
If you want some peace and quiet here in Amalfi, you should come up to the cathedral and check out the cloister. It dates back from the 13th century. It's a nice, quiet oasis. You also get really epic views of Bell Tower as well. Well, all good things must come to an end, and La Dolce Vita time is over here on the Amalfi Coast. I'm Angel Castellanos for the tour guide. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and smash that bell so you can find our next video. Happy travels.